Suck my balls. Suck my balls. Suck my balls. Suck my balls.
That's right, I fucked up, but who cares? It's the YouTube thing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of your YouTube special reviews here. Suck My Balls, a South Park review. If you want to hear our snazzy intro,
Suck my balls, cow.
you'll have to hear that on our podcast, which there is over 145 podcasts. Subscribe to Suck My Balls, a South Park review. Subscribe to Suck My Balls, a South Park review on all podcast outlets and right here on YouTube, as I've been going back and uploading episodes from season 1. The ones Joe were not really involved with yet. He hadn't become part of our cluster fuck yet. It became in the menage a trois. Not yet. So these are like the early, like, underground, grassroots, no format Suck My Balls episodes where it's just me and Scoop, like, stupidly high. We have no format. We just talk and I edit in clips later.
And like, I was trying to get on the show before then too. I'm like, hey guys, I'm an experienced stir. Let's do a little swing.
He won our hearts over with his majestic voice. But and as you heard his voice there, ladies and gentlemen, this man,
I whipped it out,
is a doctor of punkonomics. He's a doctor of thugonomics. He's a doctor of polyphonics. He's a doctor of love, of mischief, of lust, and more. And he is also the 2022 Red Rocks Day 1 Trivia Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a trivia god. Double J. Don't piss him off, Joe Vernola. What's up, Joe?
not a whole hell of a lot. It's funny that like when you started doing the deep breath, made me think back to a show I did a couple of weeks ago. I was ring announcing, and like the fans started like trying to hold certain like syllables or whatever as long as I was, or like whatever the word is. And it's at one point I just looked at the referee. I'm like, yo, these kids do not want to fuck with me right now. And then the next one, like, because it was the fine, I just went like ungodly long until I made sure like each and every one of the like, fuck, dude, I can't do this. Like, yeah, that's right. That's why I get paid the big bucks.
That's why he gets paid the big bucks, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Vernola. Of course, shout out to our boy, the OG, the Mac Daddy, the S to the C to the double OP. Such good. He's doing school stuff. Anyway, shout out to him. And of course, as I didn't tell you who I am, my name's MSG. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Don't follow me, actually. Just go to Suck My Balls Pod on Twitter and Instagram, and South Park Pod on Facebook, and linktr.ee/South Park Pod. I'm your host, Nahina Canby, your boy, Matt Schaffer, MSG. All right, let's get into some South Park reviews here. Guys, we have got to the culminax. We have the climax. Is culminax a word? Did I just make a word up?
I think you mixed culmination and climax and called it a culminax.
Culminax. We have got...
That sounds like...
the culminax!
Culminax sounds like something you take for your stomach. Please consult a doctor before taking Culminax. Do not take Culminax if you're allergic to Culminax. Reactions include death, extreme diarrhea.
Culminax is also not approved by the FDA, and you are taking it at your own risk. If you choose to take Culminax, please keep a diary and journals, because you are now part of this testing program. Culminax, don't you just have to take a shit? Yeah, the culmination, the climax of season 25, season 25's episode 6. The Credigree Weed special is here, ladies and gentlemen. As Randy's gonna get his own holiday. He is determined to have his own holiday. It is the Credigree. Wow, great start from here on YouTube. It is the Credigree, as you can see, I'm under that Credigree. The Credigree Weed St. Patrick's Day special. that aired on March 16th, 2022. It was South Park's, oh my gosh, 315th overall episode. We're not numbering this because if you have been following along here on this journey of YouTube reviews, then you're well aware that we don't want to get our numbers mixed up. So in the future, maybe this will be number 318. Yeah, maybe it will be. I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe at that point, Joe and myself and Scoop will re-review it again. Or it'll be a re-review, or it'll just be me and Scoop reviewing the review of me and Joe, and we'll just make fun of you, Joe. How about that?
Oh, well, I mean, if you guys are going to make fun of me in the future, I might as well not bite my tongue on what I was going to say earlier. I thought I was recording with MSG, not Scoop.
That's true. I'm not Scoop.
You were sounding like Porky fucking Pig over there. Dib. Piss off, man. Finish. God damn it. I think I killed him. I totally fucking killed him, you guys.
That was good. I'm impressed on that one. Whew. You got me. You got me there. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's get back on track. Back to our regular scheduled program here. Credigree Weed is the 315th overall episode of South Park as it aired on March 16th, 2022, which for us, we are now reviewing this in September of 2022. At the climax of September as well. The culmination, summer has come and passed, the innocent will never last. Wake me up when September ends. You know what I'm saying?
That is the manliest Billy Joe has ever sounded.
I don't know. It's just one of those like weird deep voices I have in the pocket for some like for voiceovers, like, you want to come over to my house and eat my chicken? I don't appreciate that.
That's like if Rex Kwon Do from Napoleon Dynamite was doing Wake Me Up When September Ends on karaoke.
That's my new voice. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to summer. Okay, so Credigree Weed.
You want to get kicked in the face by its...
So you want to go outside and check out my truck? All right, so Credigree Weed, as we'll get started here. Butters is shocked to learn that people in South Park don't understand, Joe, what St. Patrick's Day is really all about. But I digress as far as the minor synopsis that we have here. Let's get into the plot. The plot starts. St. Patrick's Day, right? In the morning of St. Patrick's Day. We wake up, we see Integrity Farms. Sharon's helping Stan and Shelly get ready for school. Randy comes in. He's like, look, I don't want you going to school today because I need you to help me prepare for the St. Patrick's Day special. You know, he's all excited about it, saying this is going to be the best thing ever. It's going to be even better than any other specials they've put together, and it's going to make them the most money, right? Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, at the same time, what's going on is Butters is all dressed in green, and he's teasing his parents about how he's excited to pinch those who are not wearing green for the holiday. So he's pumped. That's kind of how we get this thing started. Of course, Stan is reluctant to help Randy out at the beginning because in general, because one, he doesn't like the weed, as we found out in some of the post-COVID specials. But also in regards to the fact that there's a St. Patrick's Day thing. You know, everyone wears green. There's festivities going on at the school, and obviously he wants to fucking go to school and get the fuck off this farm, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, so let's start that episode, the morning at Integrity Farms here, as we begin on our journey. Now, if you've never watched or never seen a review, we only show up to at least 30-second clips because we don't want to get hit for copyright, this is considered under fair use, as we are reacting to the content and reviewing it. So there you go, YouTube. Check my pass. He's all black. Here's Stan.
Eat your breakfast, Stan. You're going to be late for school.
Thanks, look good.
You told me to finish my homework.
Do both. Come on, guys. We got to get going.
Hey, whoa. What the is going on?
I'm about to take the kids to school. Why?
Hello? It's St. Patrick's Day.
I know, I'm wearing green.
You guys, this is Integrity Weed's biggest day of the year. I need help with the St. Patrick's Day special.
Sorry, Randy, the kids aren't missing school. Come on, guys, let's go.
Okay, yeah. Great, don't worry about it. I'll do it all myself. Again. Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning to you. Fucking
Mr. Randy, you are so classic in your ways. You make me laugh in all the different phases of my life. Anyway, so as you heard and saw there, hopefully we didn't get blocked by the tube. Randy didn't want his kids to go. Now, as we mentioned, Butters, he's going to be excited. You know, he's pumped for St. Patrick's Day.
Psyched. It might actually be his biggest day of the year.
Like it feels
Randy.
like, yeah, it's almost like Butters is like maybe he's like the king. He's like, everybody knows he's the Irish kid, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is my holiday. This is my special.
Boy, that's right, Lord. Wait, that turned Scotch.
You
towards
turn
the end.
Scottish.
It's funny because, like, I have an Irish buddy, and like, but moving on.
Moving on, ladies and gentlemen. What is it? Irish is high and Scottish is low, or something like that, with the accent, or something like that.
I can't remember.
Like, Irish is high and Scottish is low.
I think so, yeah.
The accents is what someone told me one day. I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's cool to know. What's cool to know here? Butters. Butters is gonna get it. Well, he thinks he's the king of shit, but unfortunately for him, he's gonna find out here in 2022, his shit's not gonna fly anymore, Joe. You know, it's not gonna fly for them.
Nope.
Hey, Jimmy, nice green pants. Happy St. Patrick's Day, fellas. Hey, Butters. You guys all look very festive.
Yeah, it's super fun. St. Patrick's Day rules.
I hope we put green food coloring in our milk at lunchtime again like last year. Uh-oh. Hey, Kellyanne, what's going on? What do you mean? Looks like someone forgot what day it was. Ha ha, bitch.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the cops
I'm
show up.
sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do anything wrong. Honest.
Do you know what sexual assault is?
I'm so sorry. Please. It's just she had it coming on account of the way she was dressed.
Oh, God.
Kid, wow. All right, take this shithead to the station and book him for sexual assault of a minor.
Oh, jeez, I didn't know Kellyanne was a minor.
So, of course, this sets up in this episode, you know, I guess, South Park satire take right now on, or what was a big movement, right, as far as misappropriate behavior in the workplace and then just general in life, right? Guys who might be touching girls, or girls who might be touching guys in different ways, or vice versa, non-binary, he, she, B, D, A, B, C, LGBTQ, NMLMNOP, whoever would you want to be. I don't care. So what I'm saying is, it's just keep your hands to yourself, right? But on the St. Patrick's Day, the as far as our historical holiday spirit and tradition has been, if you didn't wear green when you were a kid or whatever it was when you were at school, people would freaking pinch you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did you ever get pinched at school, Joe? Or were you smart enough to wear green?
I was smart enough to wear green. And then, like, we had it where, like, if someone pinched you and, like, oh, joke's on you, I was wearing green socks or something, you could turn around and punch them. So, like,
whoa,
I would do some shit like that.
I like that. Like, if you tried to fake me out, then now you get punched in the face kind of shit.
Yeah, like, oh, you thought I wasn't wearing green. I am, asshole. Pow! Just right to the arm, you know, just like the circle game or anything else.
Oh, no, you're saying, so if you wore the green socks, you'd wait for someone to pinch you, and then you'd pop it up and pop them back in the face.
Yeah.
That's smart. I think you're asking for controversy, so I feel like you wanted that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I wanted an excuse to punch people in the
that's
arm.
fine. Yeah, I get it. Like, I just want to make sure we're on the same playing field here.
Oh, yeah. I thought I was making it pretty obvious.
I was a little confused. I thought you were saying, like, that, let's say I came up to you and you said, and I pinched you, and you went, oh, I'm actually wearing green socks. Then me as the person that pinched you went, oh, you trying to fucking lie? and then just punch him in the face. That's what I thought you were saying. I was like, that's great too.
That is. You fucking liar. Prove it.
Phony.
Oh, you don't have green socks. Boom. That's from lying, bitch.
from lying.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
You gotta show your green spirit, not hide it. I don't know, some bullshit.
Yeah,
So
what the fuck is wrong with you?
what the fuck is wrong with you? So following Butters, who I guess it was one of his classmates, Kellyanne Barlow, for not wearing green, pitches her on the behind, or at least, either the behind or the hip, but we can't really see exactly where he pinches her. But maybe it was on the butt. So that if it was on the butt, then I could see it being sexual harassment at that point. I get that then, if he's pinching her on the behind. Like as a kid, I knew better not to pinch there. I would pinch you like on the arm, right? Or on your shoulder or something like that. I wasn't going to like touch your private part. So Butters, I don't know. Anyway, the Park County police are called to arrest him for sexual assault of a minor, refusing to believe his insistence that, of course, she was asking for it on account of what she was wearing. And then they lock him away as a sexual predator. And then they reveal to him that, of course, she was wearing green socks. He is then assigned a public defender who comes in, starts to talk about his case, and then asks Butters to demonstrate where he pinches the little girl. So Butters then demonstrated it, and then the public defender beats the shit out of Butters or slaps him a couple times. And she's like, I am not working with this person. So everybody, of course, is upset over the fact that Butters is adhering to these traditions, Joe. As a Catholic individual, did you grow up with St. Patrick's Day a lot? Did you guys celebrate it?
We didn't really celebrate it beyond having corned beef and cabbage and stuff that night. One day a year that I ate corned beef, even though it's pretty similar to pastrami. But we didn't we didn't make a big deal out of the Feast of St. Patrick or anything like that. We didn't do anything any more out of the ordinary than anyone else, really.
Than what white people do, get drunk on a nightly basis. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so let's go ahead here and we will jump into the explanation of Butters and as well as the public defender case.
Yes, right.
Yeah, only one problem. The little girl you pinched, Kellyanne Barlow, she was wearing green socks. You're a goddamn sexual predator. Don't let him jack off in here. These types always mess up my jail.
Don't let him jack off in here. These types always mess up my jail. Okay,
jail.
So before we go to the weed scenes with Randy here and Tolkien's father, I want to show you guys, like as I mentioned, the Butters public defender scene.
Leopold Stotch,
Yes.
I'm the public defender that's been assigned to your case.
Okay. Oh, God.
Is there a problem?
Well, it's just, what you're wearing. It's St. Patrick's Day. You're not wearing any, You don't have any green socks on, do you?
No, I'm wearing yellow socks.
Oh, God. I want to pinch you so bad.
I'm here to help you, okay?
Nobody knows how great he really was.
Okay. Can you show me where on the body you touched the girl?
Oh, God.
Did you put your fingers inside her?
I didn't finger nothing. I swear it was just a tiny little St. Patrick's Day pinch. It was like this. Ugh. Ugh.
I am not representing this f***ing animal!
Yeah.
So yes, poor Butters. He gets the shit kicked out of him. So the side story, besides the Butters story, there is, as we mentioned, is Randy trying to start his integrity special, right? Meanwhile, if you've been following along with season 25, you'll know that Tolkien's father ended up starting up his own competitive weed itself called Credigree. And they're going to be doing their own Credigree weed special as well. Well, to Randy's dismay, when he comes out after, Stan and Sharon and all them leave for school and go off to work, he sees that the Credigree special's already begun, and he's going to be pissed, Joe. Kind of as, Mr. Tolkien's father got the jump on him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes in the war of the plants, it's about who can deliver that green, if you know what I mean. Because we ain't about to wait around when we got that.
Yes,
feed.
I do.
What do I want to go? A, B, C, or D? Who's going to get it to me? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay. Category weed special is Randy is like in the plans.
Randy, we all see you behind the bush. Everyone sees you. Maybe they're here because my St. Patrick's Day special is better than yours.
Oh. The fight of the century. Leprechaun versus leprechaun. Oh, and then they're gonna get arrested.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, let's arrest the white leprechaun. Because, you know, can't have one day for a mostly white culture, right? Don't want to get canceled. I guess don't arrest him for cultural appropriations. Guess that only works one way, huh?
This was America.
A lot to unpack there, Joe. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and just use a pop culture or trivia reference, just something I pointed out right away. I can think about right away. The music right there is from the South Park video games as well. The background music, I just remember hearing that song so much as I'm sitting there going through the menus and shit, like on the game. So like,
Yeah.
that game that's a South Park original soundtrack there, right there in the background that they've used a lot for their media. You've got, of course, Randy making the point that he feels that Tolkien's father is culturally appropriating his holiday, when realistically he's just trying to sell weed, so he's just doing whatever he's got to do to just sell weed and wear an outfit.
Yeah, but he's trying to use cultural appropriation as
sell weed.
his crutch.
Yeah, of course, to sell weed, of course. And
Yeah,
then-
well, no, I'm saying Randy is accusing Steve Black of cultural appropriation as Randy's crutch.
Right. Well, and Randy itself is what makes the point that I'm 10% Irish, so that gives me the right that this is my holiday and you're culturally appropriate. And then he makes an interesting point. Like, I don't look at it like that because I guess I just don't look at the world like, oh my God, everybody has their own special days and everybody has their own special months and I need my own special day and special month. I guess I'm just not that conceited in my own mindset where I think about that. I could see the point where people do think like that, and I whether I disagree or agree, I can understand that concept of feeling like you kind of have to walk on eggshells on what you have to say and do in this day and age of society. If you wear the wrong type of clothing or you dress the wrong type of way or you don't show respect to something in a specific type of way, you're going to get canceled, if you will, if you post it right on social media, or even I guess if just someone takes a picture of you and then blasts you on social media, just recording you nowadays, right? With any type of social media format. So I get that concept, and I get Randy's argument in the rootness of the anger of like, well, I don't have my own day anymore and everybody gets their own celebrational day and blah, blah, blah. So I guess I kind of get that, but me, I just don't care. So that's, I mean, personally, Joe, how do you feel?
I'm pretty much on the same boat with you there. Like, you took everything I was saying, just kind of. So.
Okay, well, I'm glad you said the same. I'm glad you feel the same way. All right, so moving on here, as you heard, Randy got fucking. Well, he got arrested, right? So it's at this point he's taken into custody for assault. Afterward, Steve is approached by Farty O'Cool, who runs the town's Irish bar, and would like to buy a few tons of Credigary weed marijuana for his bar. Unaware that Steve's supply is low, though. And this, of course, is going to bring about a point where Steve Black is going to he's going to find a way to get more weed.
Yeah, he's going to have to find a way to get more weed.
Right, he's going to have to find a way to get more weed. So Randy brought in, dressed as the leprechaun, alongside various drunk and party goers, and Butters are in this holding cell. So right before Randy shows up, though, Butters gives a prayer, like praying to St. Patrick to please help me, or please bring a leprechaun. And then all of a sudden, Randy just shows up, and he's like, oh, thank you. So Randy concocts a plan, pretending to call his lawyer, but instead he calls Stan. And he asked Stan to ditch school, bring him some marijuana so he can escape jail. Verbally abusing him, of course, along the way when he questions the idea, like, if you don't fucking do this, I'm going to cancel your Wi-Fi. And then the boys show up and drop off this cake with the marijuana inside. Of course, Randy's like a little pissed at first. He's like, "You brought me cake? What the hell?" And then Stan's like, "I brought you cake. Just enjoy the cake." And then after Randy, of course, rants, he realizes, "Oh, cake. Got it." So there's a marijuana, jar of weed in the cake. So Randy's plan was to get one of the cops high and let him out of the jail cell, or get the cops high in general to get them to party. Like, you don't want to be the only white guy that doesn't celebrate on our holiday, do you, bro? And
right.
So he tries to bribe the police, but then unfortunately the cops just all of a sudden receive a shipment of credigree just out of nowhere. They're like, "Yeah, they're just giving credigree for free down at the farm." And they get a whole buttload of weed, and so the cops decide to get high inside the jail cell. Or their work. They decide to get high at work. So Randy's plan fails. So just as Randy's plan seems like it's no more, him and Butters decide that Randy's lamenting. He's like, it's he's like down on himself, and he's upset and thinks the plan has failed. And then all of a sudden, Butters is like, "No, you're not going to take that," and motivates him. And then Randy, either he gets powers or the cops are so high that they think he has powers. He's able to break out of the cell and escape the South Park Police Department, Joe.
Right. Yes, he is. It was great. It's rainbow power. It's magic. It's not the cops being high. What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, well, I mean, that's a fair point, but let's go to
magic.
It's magic, you fucking dick. All right, so let's go to that scene. Let's go to that scene here of Butters motivating Randy and then him breaking out of jail.
What did St. Patrick say when he was taken from his homeland and turned into a slave? St. Patrick didn't give up. And when the Christians slandered him while he was trying to convert the heathen Irish, did he give up then?
Man, that is some strong-ass shit.
You could taste the Irishness.
Yeah.
This weed is amazing. It has so much cred.
I've never really been a fan of the holiday specials, but this one is really good.
Yeah!
Just open the door.
You see? The power of St. Patrick compels you!
Rainbow power.
Yes! Now use your clover ray!
Clover Ray. He's like, Butters just knows the backstory of it. He's like his fucking sensei.
Yeah.
Coins of spike!
The coins of spike!
And now for the thrilling conclusion of the Credigree St. Patrick's Day special.
Dog. So yeah, that's of course how Randy and Butters escape jail. And now they do a news report where they're like, "Ladies and gentlemen, the sexual offender is on the loose," and they're talking about Butters. And as this is going on, everybody's out having a good time on St. Patrick's Day, right? Having a couple of drinks, hanging out with the townsfolk, blah, blah, blah. So Randy, of quotes, gets out of jail with Butters. And when he got out of jail, first place he went to find the credigree weed people. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. He goes and talks to Tally, right? And he finds out from Tally that Tally sold all of his weed to freaking the Tolkien's
credigree.
Yeah, and the credigree people are claiming it as their own. And then of course Randy gets mad and he balls up Tally into a ball and throws him on the ground. I don't know why I liked that scene here, but
it's because it's one of the few that references his talness, and
right,
it's just funny.
Talness.
Where's all the St. Patrick's Day special?
Randy, I thought you were in jail.
The weed's all gone. Does that mean you were able to sell it?
Yeah, I sort of sold it at half price to Tolkien's dad across the street.
What?
You were gone. Tolkien's dad said he'd buy all the weed, and I figured that's what we should do.
So you mean that right now everyone down at the Irish bar is enjoying my special and they don't even know it?
Randy, I'm sorry.
Come on, let's go.
All right, so before we get into the final scene here to set this up now. So outside this Irish pub bar in downtown where everyone's having a big old party, right? And they're all getting together, having fun, whatnot. Randy then eventually is going to show up, right? He's going to get to the bar itself. and he's going to like call him out for cultural appropriation here, essentially, right? He's gonna like be like, no, this is my special. So he accuses him cultural appropriation, exposes the fact that Mr. Tolkien here is selling his weed as in disguise, or mixed it in, if you will, and therefore he really did culturally appropriate now by taking his own stuff. And so as Randy is going to give this speech, then Butters shows up, where he's standing there, and some chick freaks out. Cops show up. They all surround Butters. And just as Butters is surrounded, up from the sky comes the St. Patrick himself. So we're going to show a couple clips here. We'll show Randy. Yes. We'll show Randy giving his speech about it being his special, and then we'll see what St. Patrick does, because St. Patrick is... That scene makes up the whole episode. Like, it's one of the funniest scenes from this whole episode.
Is everyone enjoying the special?
Randy, I thought you were in jail.
Oh, yes, so did a lot of people. But you see, there's just one thing wrong. This isn't Credigree Weed's special. It's mine.
It's mine.
Babe, that's how you got so much weed?
I use both. You see, this is what happens when you appropriate a culture. It's sort of your special, it's sort of not your special. And nobody knows whose special it is.
I guess I just let the holiday go to my head. But I learned that you
No. You don't get to say what you learned, because it's not your special. This holiday is about integrity.
Oh my god! It's him! It's the sexual predator!
So as we mentioned there, Butters now getting called out. There, cops show up, and then up from the sky...
Alone.
Leave the child alone. Now, I do want to preface this, Joe, as we watch him bring down the sky. When I recorded this video, I didn't realize my mic was on, and I might have laughed here in a couple parts, so you'll hear me just laughing in the background.
Oh. It's him! It's St. Patrick!
What exactly is going on here? You've persecuted
like
this
real
little
looking.
boy for grabbing people? Why, it's ridiculous. You've all besmirched a perfectly good white holiday. Come on, let's have a go. It's me day. Take your dick out. Who wants him to take his dick out? I will not. What is this? Are you people all some kind of Scottish poofters? Hey, that's a homophobic slur. You're calling me homophobic? Because I will gladly any man here. Yeah. We celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Wow, St. Patrick. Wow.
This part got me.
Yeah,
I will fuck anybody here.
To hell with him, and to hell with this Integrity Weed St. Patrick's Day special.
Oh. So yes, that's a great image. Like,
yeah, that needs to be a screen cap.
he's like the real. They make him look so realistic. Like, they basically took his painting and made the painting look real inside the world of South Park. Oh man! So as a result of this, we climax here with a news report saying that St. Patrick's Day has been officially canceled and there are no more white people holidays. And as for the sexual predator, he got 400 hours of community service. And we end the episode with Butters then picking up trash as part of his community service, and he laments some more about the church.
Once again, I should have never listened to what they told me in church.
Because what they told him in church about St. Patrick's about being a holiday, well, you know, it got him in trouble once again. Ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to get into a quick trivia after we hear just a quick word from our sponsors. It's just more like where you can download the rest of our shows, and we'll be right back as we take a quick break here. Subscribe to Suck My Balls, a South Park review on Spotify, Apple's, iTunes, anywhere you want to download a podcast. Just type that in, subscribe to our feed, and you'll get the latest, greatest episode each and every week. You can also listen to us on YouTube and go back and watch some videos or any of our library. It's all there. Suck My Balls, South Park review.
This is Eric Cartman from South Park, Colorado, and you're listening to Suck My Balls, a South Park review that's pretty cool.
Attention, this is Mr. Mackey. You're listening to the Suck My Balls podcast. Okay.
Hello, I'm Others, and I'm a British person.
That's right, he's a British person. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Other Side. He approves of our show as well. Shout out to you, Joe Athers. That was, of course, my boy Shane, and then Fernando Ufret. You can check him out on all social media. He does all of the Cartman parody cover songs, and he did the cover of Celebration for us on our 111th episode, which you can go back and check out on any of our podcast outlets and on YouTube. Joe, read us some trivia and pop culture. The 2022 trivia. God.
Jesus, fuck, that was loud. It was easier to just take them off than like find the button.
I scared you there because I was
you didn't.
I was all nice and quiet in the beginning of the show when I gave you the 2022 trivia. God, but then we got to this part, I was like, I'm gonna ramp it up for him.
Yeah, you're at a 12 right now. I need you at about a 2.
Okay there, Daddy. Why don't you go ahead and read out that trivia, son?
So, as Daddy, I guess, alluded to earlier in the episode, this reuses some of the background music used in the Stick of Truth. The first instance is the music heard while exploring the town in the game is played during the argument between Randy Marsh and Stephen Black in front of the Credigri Weed patrons. Jesus Christ, that's more of a tongue twister than it should be. Credigri Weed. And the music heard while fighting against the bard in the game is played as the police officers lock up Randy in the jail cell. And during this episode, Stan wears his jacket unbuttoned, obviously to show his green shirt and avoid being sexually harassed by people like Butters.
Sexually harassed. Some references to PC pop culture. See, I didn't
yes, references to pop culture, not PC principle. This episode obviously focuses on St. Patrick's Day. It is, in fact, called the Credigri Weed St. Patrick's Day Special. At many points, Randy imitates a leprechaun, which are small fairies that are often depicted as mischievous. He, meaning Randy, adopts a slight Irish accent that he drifts in and out of throughout the episode. As Randy points out, some people view the celebration of St. Patrick's Day by those who are not of Irish heritage as cultural appropriation. He also compares it to other holidays such as Cinco de Mayo, in which some people complain that it has been appropriated by white people and major corporations. Notably, in the U.S., both St. Paddy's Day and Cinco de Mayo are often viewed as celebratory holidays to get drunk and wear culturally themed outfits rather than honor the actual events and people involved as depicted by townfolk in the episode. In contrast, these holidays are not celebrated as intensely in their native countries. Irish people don't care about St. Patrick's Day. Very few people in Mexico care about Cinco de Mayo. As Butters notes at one point in the episode, the original meaning of St. Patrick's Day is to honor St. Patrick, a Roman British man who was captured by Irish pirates and is viewed as the patron saint of Ireland. Randy denies that white people were ever slaves. His statement is completely false, as nearly every culture in human history has practiced slavery, and the word itself comes from Slav, meaning a group of people from Central and Eastern Europe.
Boom.
Slavic. Butters is deemed a sexual predator by the townsfolk and particularly local police, one officer comparing him to Harvey Weinstein. Weinstein, of course, was accused of varying degrees of sexual assault in 2017, basically kicking off the Me Too movement. Weinstein has been referenced in several episodes, such as Integrity Farms Halloween Special and Sons of Witches.
That's right. And then for last thing here, for some continuity, while on the phone with Randy, that be here, Randy itself, while they're in jail, Stan overemphasizes the L in Tolkien's name. This is a reference to the name change in The Big Fix. Continuity, pop culture, trivia, full recap. Joe, what'd you think, yo?
It wasn't the greatest episode. It wasn't even the best episode of season 25. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. There were parts of it that made me laugh. The homage or allusion to holiday specials from the 80s and on TV and stuff, like the thrilling conclusion of, it just the shit like the shit like that was funny, but there wasn't like anything like necessarily a huge banger.
It kind of feels like
that.
And I don't know if you agree with this. I kind of feel like the previous episode we reviewed, Help My Teenager Hates Me. Like, I feel like if St. Patrick's Day had been like, if they had just swapped it, if the season finale had been Help My Teenager Hates Me, I think they would have gone off with a stronger end for the season.
Oh yeah, no doubt, because Help My Teenager Hates Me is one of the better episodes in the series run. Definitely in my opinion, the best episode of this season. And
yeah, I would agree, and that's what I'm saying. It probably, and the way that episode ends with, Cartman and them all excited to go make a hot dog, like it kind of has like a nice little happy ending. Should we take them out? Not yet. We'll let them grow up a little bit, and then
we still got a couple good years.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would have been a stronger end, but of course there was St. Patrick's Day that followed that episode, so they had to follow it up with a Randy Integrity Credigree special.
Right, and I get all the end. It's just, it would have happened to almost any episode that followed Help My Teenager Hates Me. Just like, and we've had this throughout the series of the history of the series.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it. Oh, I mean, I guess I can tell you how I felt. I liked this episode. I thought it was good, decent, but as you mentioned there, pretty much I felt kind of the same thing. It was, it was kind of middle of the road. It was funny at times, but it's not a memorable episode that you're going to go away from it. It's more like Matt and Stone and Trey Parker's satirical take on the fact that everybody's holidays are pretty much canceled now. We can't do anything right, can't do anything wrong, and the church itself's, I guess you might say, influence on religion and maybe society is starting to dwindle so much to a point that we're looking and reevaluating things that may not be proper. I mean, obviously, in general, like I said, pinching, back in my day as a kid, pinching was you pinch someone on the arm, on the shoulder, maybe on the back of their shoulder, around the ear, or you even get an ear one if you really want to fuck with somebody, right? But it was never like sexual, like I'm gonna grab your butt, or I'm gonna do you in your boob,
right?
Like that. So like they of course took it to the next extreme to show the I guess extreme nature of it. Maybe this happened with other people in schools. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I never saw or experienced that.
See, and I thought that Butters just like pinched her side, not like anything actually sexual. I mean, St. Patrick himself was like just getting drunk and grabbing every. Yeah, but
all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for another edition.
Suck my balls.
Suck my balls.
Suck my balls.
Touch them.
Suck my balls.
Stroke them.
Suck my balls.
Gargle them.
Suck my balls.
Hold them.
Suck my balls.
Blah, blah, blah. Them. Ladies and gentlemen, each and every week, myself, Joe, and our boy, the Mac Daddy OG, the S to the C to the double OP, we like to review South Park for you in linear fashion, and we do so on all of our podcast platforms, where we started off with the pilot episodes of Jesus vs. Frosty and Jesus vs. Santa, and we have continued all the way through season 10 now. Over 145 episodes for you to download, get caught up, hang out, throw it on in the background, binge it, jack off while you're having sex, and play our fucking podcast. Yeah, That's right, Beavis. Sometimes, I need like 3 hands.
Hey, dude.
Steak at the same time.
If you're listening to this while
Come on
getting
in.
down, good job.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for another edition of Suck My Balls YouTube special. We'll be back next week. Or I guess we'll be back every week on another edition of Suck My Balls as Scoop comes in to record for Cartoon Wars Part 2. Download that episode. You're going to like it. You're going to love it. We'll be there. Bye.
Suck my balls. Suck my balls. Suck my balls. Suck my balls. Suck my balls.